y'all. The Joneses are back. We promised you a continuation of Why Did I Get Married? And here we are. I believe that the last time that we popped on, I told you all that we had an arranged marriage. So I want to expound on that a little bit and let you know that it wasn't like a traditional arranged marriage. It was, the question was posed to us about getting married by our church. And, you know, from there, events happened. We're going to give you a little more history before we get into that. But it wasn't like, you know, from the day that we were born, we were destined to be together because our parents arranged it or our church arranged it. So let me just be clear on that. My second disclaimer is that we give Paul Washington credit for hearing the voice of God and directing us in that way, because he did, you know, hold our feet to the fire and make us do something that wasn't really on our minds to do, which is getting married. And we would not have done that without his pushing. So thank you, Paul Washington, for being obedient to God and hearing his voice. We appreciate you.
Heavy on the thanks, Paul.
Big heavy. So let me say that this all began back in 1993. We were probably 8th graders. And I met Eric through him and my mom having a mutual friendship. And we kind of started hanging out and kicking it. And a lot of things happened. But yes, you are one of the best things that ever happened to me. So we became friends. Friendship turned into some other things. We did everything together, y'all. Everything. And from us doing everything together, a little boy was born. November of 1995. We had our oldest son, and we were still in school.
Freshmen, senior, or summer, summer or freshman. Our freshmen, so going into our sophomore year.
It was November. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So halfway through.
Yeah. So we were pregnant. We decided that we were going to do our best to make it work, and we did everything pregnant. I mean, we finished school. We were involved in sports at the time. We couldn't really finish that, so we got jobs, you know, and did what was needed to be done to become parents. We had a strong family unit on both sides that urged us along the way. They didn't discourage us. They didn't beat us up.
Supported us.
They supported us all the way
Spoke
through.
life.
Spoke life into us. Let us
Absolutely.
know that we were not disasters, even though we probably were. They were nice enough to encourage us and not tell us that we were disasters.
So remember, speaking life is
Important.
It's very important.
Yes.
Very important.
They talked to us. They pushed us through. We had lots of ups and downs. Don't get me wrong. There were some
Trying times.
but we made it through.
Being that young and parents, being in high school, there's nothing to be glorified about it. But you know, thank God that we was able to make it through those times. Really going back to the system, the support system that we had around us. It was definitely a godsend.
Yeah, we had our parents, we had grandparents, we had our sisters. We're not leaving the sisters out because them aunties, y'all, were auntying. Like, they babysat, they fought, they did everything they could do to help us along the way. Our kids would not be who they are today without some of their aunties' influence. So, and I ain't saying it was all good influence because them aunties were young, y'all, but no, they helped us out tremendously.
But yeah, you know, it was definitely a curve in there, learning curve, being young parents. You know, and being in high school, and you know, and just dealing with everything that comes with that, having friends that peers that they weren't having kids, they weren't pregnant, they weren't, you know, the conversation. I felt like, you know, when you walk down the halls, it's very different. When me and Talia would walk down the hall, we
had to grow up, y'all.
Yeah, fast. You know, so it's definitely not to be taken lightly or to glorify that being done, but I will say this, that is not life ending. For us, you know, looking back, that's when life really kind of begun. You know, even though we had to grow up early, our son was truly a blessing to us. It taught me in a lot of ways of, where I thought that I wasn't selfish, or that I couldn't be selfish, but then I didn't even know that I was selfish, that I was selfish. 'Cause now here I am, I got this son that is looking at me, and, and I got to grow up, so out here doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, which may have been meant for bad, turned around to be a lot of good in that. Even though we had some hard times, it was a journey that, I look back now and I'm thinking, thank God for choosing me to go through it, because it was a blessing for me.
In disguise.
Absolutely.
So, we're going to go ahead and fast forward to 1998.